Welcome back to Hypnosis Today, where we explore how people are using hypnosis to achieve remarkable things. If you've just joined us, we have as our second two guests, Joan Teasdale, who is an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy. She's also a recipient of the prestigious Director's Award. And she has with her her wonderful client and my other guest, Gregory. Now, Gregory came in to see Joan for not only nail biting, but hand biting as well. Please help me welcome my guests. Gregory, I'm going to start with you. Tell me what was going on.
So for as long as I can remember, I've been an avid nail biter to the point where I would bite to where it would bleed and be painful. And in later years of my life, it became where I started to bite the skin around my nails and the fingers, and it's gotten worse and worse. And I've always wanted to stop. I knew it was a problem. My parents would always tell me to, stop, Greg, you can do it. And I thought I could, but every time I'd try, subconsciously, I would be right back at it in deep thought, just biting my nails.
Sure. So was it a subconscious thing? Were you even aware you were doing it?
A lot of the times, no. And when I came to, I'd be in deep thought, I'd be driving or thinking or at work, biting my nails, and then when I came to, I'd be like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, I'm trying to quit, and again, time and time and again, I would just go right back to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you try anything before you tried hypnotherapy?
Yes. When I was a young kid, my mom would put this stuff on it that would taste really bad, and that would quickly remind me that I was doing it. So, subconsciously, I could taste it, but then I just got used to the taste. And sometimes I would just fight through the taste to just, because it was such a good feeling to be biting my nails. It was such a comfort for me.
Yeah, so it had some wisdom and it had a good purpose. You felt great about it. It felt great when you were doing it. Why would you want to stop?
Well, I can't pick up dimes.
Sure.
There's many things.
Yes, if you can't pick up dimes, class, you need help, call me immediately. So what else besides the coin issue?
I just didn't like how my nails looked. It made me self-conscious when people saw my fingers. And then with the skin, it was even worse. Whenever I got out of the shower or the pool, my skin was just crazy looking because of all the bite marks that would really show up when they were wet. So
it's kind of frightening, huh?
It was crazy. So
when did you decide that maybe hypnosis was the avenue to go?
I actually tried it once before I had met Joan back in Boston, and it was kind of a different setup where it was kind of a group therapy session, and everyone was there to stop smoking cigarettes, and I was the only one there for nail biting. And it didn't really work. I left, and within a few days I was back at it. And I didn't really think about it again until a friend of mine, Jacqueline, who's Joan's daughter, I was hanging out with her, and she had seen what I was doing to my fingers, and I don't like to show a lot of people, and she was like, you have to see my mom, and then it just kind of went from there.
Do you know, I love it, and what a wonderful way to create trust and rapport. One of your friends recommended someone she trusted and her mom, and I'm saying we should all use our children to do our advertising. So you trusted your daughter's name again?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
Yeah.
And so you called Joan, and tell me, Joan, what kind of an induction would you use with this? It was almost intractable, nail and even hand biting.
Well, I actually used a bilateral method.
Tell me what you mean by that.
Well, similar to the arm challenge, I had him hold both arms out, bring all the tension, anxiety, and stress into both arms, and tighten, tighten, tighten as I counted from 10 back to 0, bringing all the stress from the body that was related to the nail biting into his arms, and then at 0, release it right out the fingers and let the hands drop down into his lap.
That sounds really different. Something you learned in a group session with a bunch of smokers.
Yeah,
How was
it was
that?
nothing like that.
What was that like for you?
In this session or the previous one?
This one.
This one was amazing. So I've only met with her 3 times, and since the first one, I have not bit my nails once.
Really?
A few times, I would go for it, but it wouldn't be subconscious. It would be like a conscious almost habit, but then instantly I'd be like, what am I doing? And as time went on, one thing Joan and I practiced was while I was hypnotized to start rubbing my fingers instead of biting them. And now I notice myself doing this instead of feeling the need to put them near or in my mouth.
So the subconscious thing became the rubbing.
Yes.
And bringing them up to the mouth came right up to conscious awareness. And of course, awareness is the catalyst to change. And do you even care if subconsciously you're rubbing your hand a little bit?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Yes.
I'd much rather do that.
Wow. So after a first session, please tell us, what else did you do for Gregory in hypnosis?
Well, I used an imagery. I had him imagine that he was in the chair, and a part of himself was rising up above himself and looking down at himself on the chair from the ceiling of the room, and then lifting higher and higher, lighter and lighter. He lifts higher up above the house or building, you could say, and lifting and rising higher and higher until he could actually possibly see the Atlantic to his right and the Pacific to his left, and having a greater expansive feeling and possibly a connection to a more like a universal source, a higher spot where he had access to greater knowledge or everything that he needed to know. And watching the sunset, bringing that light into his heart and taking that expansiveness in and then encapsulating it right back down, focusing back down into the chair in the room where he was now.
So with that, Gregory, seeing the expansive view, seeing the bigger picture, seeing the higher wisdom, what did you learn from that related directly to no longer biting the nails and even creating bleeding in the fingers and the hands?
It's kind of a hard question. I feel that specific exercise, I don't even really know how related directly, but it was very, I was able to imagine that so significant, while she was explaining this to me, and it was really visual. Like, even being in the chair, I could experience all of that. And I'm not really sure how it related. Maybe you could.
What do you think? I want to hear your interpretation before I give you mine. I'm always happy to give everybody my opinion.
On the first session, I did quite a few things, and that was one of, after the induction, that was one I did. And then we also went into a staircase, and before he went down the staircase, so there was quite a few things. So and he was quite deep, so he may not have remembered them all.
I want to hear your interpretation by why having an expansive view might help something as specific as nail biting, and then I'll tell you what I think.
Well, possibly just having a bigger, greater view of everything that's possible to him, and then when he's coming down, focusing on the job at hand that we were going to change. We were going to eliminate the nail biting, so I was giving him that big, expansive, open, aware feeling, and that he could do anything was possible, and then narrow it into a focused angle and let's take care of the nail biting.
Does that resonate with you?
Yes.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is so very, very similar, that once you have that expansive view, or to see, using a metaphor, to see the big picture, you understand that you can feel safe, soothed, comforted, without that kind of self-injurious type of behavior. Because now you see the big view. Now I want to hear about the staircase.
Well, just prior to the staircase, which we all use for deepening, I had him glance in the mirror and notice how good looking he was and confident and feeling so awesome and great. And oh, by the way, look at my nails. Like, talking into the future, they look really, really good. And how great that made him feel. And then taking that same feeling down the staircase, the 20 steps down, and just having it elevated or magnified on every step going down.
Yes. Now, Gregory, because you are so visual, when you were able to look in the mirror and see your hands and nails looking the way you've always wanted them to look, what was that like for you?
It was magnificent. Actually, in the beginning, it was kind of hard to imagine what they would look like. It was almost like trying to put someone else's hands in place of mine. But then as the sessions went on, and then as my nails grew, and because I could feel them growing, and with the hand rubbing as a replacement of nail biting, I can feel the progress. And that was just huge for me, knowing that this is working. Like, I'm not only not biting, but they're growing. Like, this is just progressing. And from the second and third session, it was easier for me to imagine them being even longer even more clean and not having bite marks, which is the goal. So
Yes. What are 3 post-hypnotic suggestions you have someone with a habit like nail biting or hand biting or anything that's similar?
Well, first I suggested that each and every day that he would notice that when his arm was rising up like he was going to bite his nails, he would have the stop mechanism and then the anchor of rubbing the fingers, and also to practice it cognitively, like maybe he's driving and actually go through the process of bringing the hand up, stop, press. So whether it was subconscious or conscious, he was going to be practicing that. And then the second one would be that, and you may even notice that you're starting to choose different fingers for which reason to rub. The third one was each and every day you'll be noticing how confident and wonderful you feel. Your nails are great, you're feeling really good about them, and they're healthy, and you're also noticing that they're useful. And only you will know which one that you prefer, the usefulness or the beauty of your nails, and it's for you to know, and that'll bring a smile to your face and carry you throughout the week.
What would you say, Gregory, for anyone who has a habit that's a little scary and seems like it'll never end? What would you say to that person?
Well, it was just amazing to me that, after trying so hard myself to try to get over this bad habit, that it really wasn't my fault that I couldn't overcome it. And my parents kept telling me, oh, you have to stop. And my friends like, oh, you can stop. It's mind over matter, And it's just, you're not alone. Like, you can do something like hypnotherapy, and it just, it trains your subconscious in a new way that I didn't even know was possible. And it's been great. And I see the results and I feel the results, and it's been magnificent.
Can I see the results?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Joan, everyone's going to want to learn more about this type of habit control and all the unique and beautiful things that you bring into your hypnotherapy sessions. And you can reach Joan Teasdale at hmigrads.com. Well, it appears we're out of time for today. I want to thank Joan and I want to thank Gregory for coming on this show and sharing your experiences. I want to thank everybody in the studio audience and those of you at home for watching. My name is Lisa Machenberg, and I hope you'll join us next time when we meet more people and explore how they are using Hypnosis Today. Please stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up for you on HMI Web TV. That's Hypnotherapy Television 24/7. To Hypnosis Today, where we explore how people are using hypnosis to achieve remarkable things. If you've just joined us, we have as our second 2 guests, Joan Teasdale, who is an honors...
I would be right back at it in deep thought, just biting my nails.
Sure. So was it a subconscious thing? Were you even aware you were doing it?
A lot of the times, no. And when I came to, I'd be in deep thought, I'd be driving or thinking or at work, biting my nails, and then when I came to, I'd be like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, I'm trying to quit, and again, time and again, I would just go right back to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you try any out of HMI College of Hypnotherapy? She's also a recipient of the prestigious Director's Award, and she has with her her wonderful client and my other guest, Gregory. Now, Gregory came in to see Joan for not only nail biting, but hand biting as well. Please help me welcome my guests. Gregory, I'm going to start with you. Tell me what was going on.
So for as long as I can remember, I've been an avid nail biter to the point where I would bite to where it would bleed and be painful. And in later years of my life, it became where I started to bite the skin around my nails and the fingers, and it's gotten worse and worse. And I've always wanted to stop. I knew it was a problem. My parents would always tell me to, stop, Greg, you can do it. And I thought I could, but every time I'd try subconsciously.
I think before you tried hypnotherapy.
Yes, when I was a young kid, my mom would put this stuff on it that would taste really bad. And that would quickly remind me that I was doing it. Like subconsciously I could taste it, but then I just got used to the taste. And sometimes I would just fight through the taste to just, because it was such a good feeling to be biting my nails. It was such a comfort for me.
Yeah, so it had some wisdom and it had a good purpose. You felt